Minnesota Original is made possible by the State Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.
On this special edition of Minnesota Original, a celebration of dance in our community. From traditional forms to modern choreography, these artists share a passion for movement. Xenon Dance Company captivates audiences with modern and jazz choreography. Through an ancient Indian dance form, Rani and Aparna Ramaswamy of Ragamala dance interpret ancient mythological stories from Hinduism and modern poetry. And a TPT studio performance featuring the dynamic choreography of Joe Quala. These artists and many more now on Minnesota Original.
Xenon is a modern dance and jazz repertory company. In my bio at Xenon, I think I've written down that I've worked with over 30 choreographers, which is such a blessing.
Xenon is unique in the way it works with choreographers because of the background of the dancers and what they've been exposed to. So we have a really large volume of work, and all of the choreographers that we work with are extremely different. Xenon dancers, because of the variety of work they do, they're intensely strong, intensely athletic artists, and they kind of bring the two together, and when you do that, it's an amazing result.
Working with choreographers at Xenon is really quite amazing because they come in for whatever short amount of time. They come in for 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 10 days, and then we have to take as much as we can from that and from them to try and get their stylistic qualities and try and get the way they move into our bodies. And so you basically have to open yourself up and become like a clean slate or even the paint for the choreographer to then make the piece.
Modern dance for me, just pulls movement from all levels of life.
It's barefoot, and it's athletic, and there's rolling, tumbling, diving.
You know, as modern is, as postmodern as it can get, is still a lot of it is very primal and connected.
I often describe it as percussion. Like, the word percussion can mean anything from a speed metal band to a triangle in an orchestra.
Modern dance is defined in our culture by choreographers, by modern choreographers, who all have their own really distinct reaction or to music, to movement, and their own ideas about what modern is.
The nice thing about modern is that we really don't limit ourselves in what we can or can't do. Like in ballet, you'll very rarely ever see a ballet dancer go down to the floor, whereas in modern, that's completely on the books. We'll go down to the floor, we'll go off the floor, we'll jump up into the air, we'll do whatever we want, really.
ANANYA Dance Theatre is a company of women of color across races and ages and class and sexuality. It's very important to us to have that range within the women of color. And we make work that brings together artistic excellence and social justice.
1, 2, you're ready to go. 1, 2.
Odissi is a classical dance form from the eastern part of India, the state of Odisha. Actually, some historians will suggest that it was one of the oldest dance forms we have evidence of, going back to 5th century BC. But through time, and especially in the colonial period, there was complete lack of patronage for the arts. Odissi is also a very sensuous form, very much about, curvilinearity. It's very rounded, and it has a lot of torso movement, a lot of hip displacement, very sculpturesque forms. Through poetic bodily metaphors, we hint at ideas and we sort of unfold a single idea in many ways. So we share that multiple interpretations are possible of the same idea. That's what Odissi has done a lot of. But I'm not doing classical Odissi. I'm taking Odissi and I'm deconstructing it and I'm extending it to make a different form, mixing it with yoga and chow and making a different form, a contemporary form, a feminist form, articulating women's experiences. To me, when I think of my lifestyle, certainly when I was growing up in Calcutta and now here too, the most common experience is running for the bus, So, and if I'm running for the bus in my sari, okay, what do I need to do? I think about that and how that will mesh with this very clear classical position here. And then somewhere in the middle falls the dance.
I'll give you a full 8 into it. Yes, good idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 2. Okay, great. Yes, yes, yes. That really made a difference. Nick, would it be possible for you to do a chassé? So turning out and chassé 3, 4, 5. When I started out to have the security to start a piece, I would need to kind of know where the whole piece was going. Nowadays, I want the creative process to be a journey. I have a starting point, either a seed of what I want to explore, or I have a goal of what I want the piece to achieve, but I don't know how it's going to achieve it. Then I know that the piece will be a journey that will take me to places that I couldn't have thought of in advance. And 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1. I was inspired by the gamelan, just the sound of those instruments. And when I heard the International Novelty Gamelan playing, the way they combine these ancient instruments, but playing all their own original music, really I related to that, because I work with this art form that's hundreds of years old, ballet, but try to find new ways to use that. We decided, well, let's just take on the battle of the B word, and do what we do and educate people that ballet isn't this stuffy old art form, you know, that it's contemporary, it is moving forward, it can be to all different kinds of music, and it can relate to their lives the way they live them today. Shadows Light is a ballet that tries to combine elements of the East and West to come together to create our own new myth of the development of a society. It starts out in this spirit world where we have these gods that are the shadow puppets and sort of creating man. And then we see them appear in color, and we see the proliferation of people multiplying, and then they come forward out of the shadow world into the world of light. As these people develop then as a society, as they come out, there's one person who becomes afflicted. Just the idea that we encounter suffering. And the people turn to the shadow world to find a way to have a ritual to heal him. And they're trying to recreate what magically happened in a very human way, but to somehow bring an effect about to heal this person and release something that he can be whole again. The last section is really a celebration. You know, he's been released of his affliction, and the whole community rallies together in celebration of the wholeness. I think art in general aspires to help people see themselves and their world in a new way. In our society, the arts have been relegated to the realm of entertainment. And indeed, they need to be entertaining to engage and give you a reason to go. But really, I think the arts are a way a society adjusts to change. I hope that my work changes the way people think about ballet and maybe opens up some ideas about what it can be. I hope that it touches people's lives in ways that they see themselves up there and maybe find a way to see themselves within their world in a new way.
describe Two Dance as a company that ultimately is focused on celebrating a unique diversity. I think ideally what Tony and I are trying to do with our company is create a dance company that is reflective of the community in which it exists.
It's fascinating because there's people that never have seen dance and they come to see Two Dance and they start out going, you know, I don't get this dance thing here, but let me tell you what I felt. And then they go into what they felt and what they experienced, and we're like,
you get it.
You get it. And this happens, I swear, it happens more often than not.
Right now, we're working on a work that's entitled Sensibility. Sensibility, the work itself, has to do with how the senses and the elements are related to one another. For instance, there's air and touch, there is water taste, fire sight, earth and smell. And I plan to, in this evening, is have the audience have a full sensory theatrical experience and give a perspective on a relationship between that sense and its corresponding element. For instance, there's Tony and Marciano are doing a duet, and that's air and touch. We have these fans throughout the space, throughout the venue, and they turn on periodically where you can actually see, let's say, Tony's costume blowing, but you can also feel the fan yourself in the audience, you know, and seeing how the costume might get draped across her leg with the wind blowing one way. The vision isn't about, you know, a place for Yuri to kind of do his thing, you know, or where Tony can come around and do her thing. You know, the vision for Two Dance is really about providing opportunities for all people to experience the connective power of dance, whether it's through, you know, teaching, through the choreography of different people. Ultimately, you know, it's through this sort of cultivation, I believe, of this next generation of world-class dance artists. And we just want to do it here.
To me, the word dance can be tricky because it calls to mind a particular thing for so many people. And to me, dance is really everything. Not in that it's all important, but in that anything can be dance with an intention to meaning or articulation of space. In a way, it's sort of a mystery to me why dance is that form that some people say they don't understand. Because when we're sad, curl in, and when we're happy, we throw our arms up. But like, you know, we have physical responses to the world, all of us, and that is where dance begins.
This is me holding a very heavy tree. This is what happened. A long time ago, someone cut down a tree to build the house that was standing here before this one went up for sale. But before that tree became part of the wall of the house or the outhouse, the Mississippi River was still running, and someone used a tree from right over there to build a canoe to use in the lake, which is right over there. But way before that, a tree that had grown up right there just died, and the sun and the rain and the snow and many years and many summers of beetles and bugs turned it into a pile of dirt. I found it down in the woods back there, and I wanted to bring it up to show you, but I couldn't hold enough dirt in my hands to give you a good sense of the tree, so we just have to pretend.
Ragamala dance creates and tours work based in the South Indian classical dance form of bharatanatyam.
Bharatanatyam is a dance form that combines complicated and dynamic rhythms, has a language of gestures, which is used to interpret poetry, stories, and also there is a lot of emotional interpretation, facial expressions. So it's almost like a poetry comes alive in movement. Ronnie is not just my mother, but she is my best friend and my partner, my business partner, my partner in sharing something that we love. And we've always worked together ever since I was a child, studying together, learning, creating, talking. Sometimes I feel like we're two sides of the same person, but we're very, very different people. So we actually are very, we really complement each other.
Aparna is my soulmate. I don't think I would be doing what I'm doing now without Aparna, because I'm like a wild waterfall, and Aparna has really mapped me out and taken me to places where it's concrete and things happen a certain way. I dance because I love it so much. I've always loved dancing from the time I was a child. So I hope that I will continue to do, because I think dance is like breathing to me. I cannot stop either one of them.
I dance because it's what I love. And ever since I was young, I knew I was going to be doing this in my life. And we always talked about it. It was nothing that anyone ever pushed me to do. And I think that's really important, that if you just love something so much and you have someone to share it with, and you both love it together, and you see it as this, as we say, an ocean that you're never going to master, that there's always something to learn, it just, it makes you want to go deeper and deeper.
One, two, ready, and...
Minnesota Original is made possible by the State Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund and the citizens of Minnesota.